Yeah.
And
And I
so,
know this is not the same thing, but so many people have a family member, grandma, an uncle,
yeah,
someone that has said, hey, if you ever buy a house, let me know because I'd like to help. And so, a lot of times, like on our final closing disclosure, it shows them bringing some funds to close, but that is really coming from like a family member that's
yeah.
decided to gift them money.
Do you want to, let's talk about kind of gift and retirement funds just very briefly,
Yeah.
just kind of the do's and don'ts, because there's
Yeah.
a process for that, as all things. Mostly think our government to make sure they like to know where all the money's coming from, and so there's a process there
Yeah.
that really needs to happen. So if you want to kind of go over that.
Yeah. So the biggest thing I tell people, like if there's one thing you remember when it comes to either a gift or an old retirement account, is that myself, Ivy, Kathy, Brittany, we're here to get you into the house. So what I mean by that is like think of us as like your coach to get you where you want to go. But before you do anything, run it by us. Because a lot of times borrowers are just trying to be helpful. And maybe they hear this and they're this video and they go and talk to grandma, and the grandma goes to her mattress and pulls out $10,000 in cash and gives it to the
Oh
the
yeah,
person
yeah,
that wants to buy the house, and they go stick it in their bank account. Well, there's reasons that's going to be difficult to document. So the biggest thing I would tell people is, if you remember one thing about gifts or old 401ks or any other funds that you want to use for a house but you're not sure about, talk to us before you do anything with it, because we want to walk you through the easiest way to document it. And there are certain ways that it has to be documented. It's not our rules, it's government agency
yeah,
rules. So when it comes to gifts, generally speaking, there can be some exceptions to this, but it generally needs to come from a family member. Um, Depending on the loan program, a fiance or a future to be father-in-law or mother-in-law can be okay with some loan programs and then cannot be okay with other loan programs. That's why it's important to run it by us before money's moved around.
yeah,
Generally speaking, though, it's much easier than people think it is. For the most part, we tell people if they're going to get a gift from a family member, just confirm the dollar amount with the family member. Don't transfer any money. Get you pre-qualified before the gift's even transferred. And then you help them find a house. They get under contract. We know the specific property address. We know how much down they're going to need. Then we tell them, have that family member go get a cashier's check made out to the title company that you're going to close at, and in the remitter put the donor's name. That keeps them from, like, we don't need much from the donor then, which is
yeah,
nice. There is a letter that needs to be filled out just to confirm it is a gift. But back in the day, we actually, depending on the loan program, would have to get a bank statement from the donor. And donors don't, it's one thing to give money, but they don't
yeah,
necessarily want to provide a bank
yeah,
statement. That can really be avoided now. The biggest thing, though, is talk to the lender before you start moving things around. When it comes to retirement funds, same thing. We really want to guide you through that, because this did come up a couple months ago. We encouraged the borrower to get the process started, and then it took them, in their mind, they thought, oh, this is going to be easy. And they started it like, I think 2 weeks before closing. Well, that particular 401k administrator was super slow.
uh-huh.
And I think it was down to the wire before they actually got the funds to the borrower. That's again why bringing it up to us, we walk you through what to do, because every situation, especially when it comes to old 401ks, is different.
Yeah, and something to just mention as far as the retirement accounts is talk to if you have one, the
Yes. Always
administrator or
talk to your
advisor,
tax
because
professional.
you
Yes.
don't necessarily always have to cash those out to access the funds. Sometimes
Oh, yeah.
you can
So
borrow
common right
against
now.
them,
Yeah.
and you
Yes.
essentially they're all different, but the best ones you pay it back, but you're paying yourself interest into your own retirement account, which is pretty
Yep.
awesome. Uh,
If
and
someone's
so,
watching this right now, I would encourage them, just so that they know is an option. If you do a 401k, talk to your 401k administrator if there's an option to do a 401k loan,
Mhm.
especially for the purchase of real estate.
Yeah, yeah,
Most of my borrowers are surprised that that's an option. And as you mentioned, the interest that they do pay on it actually goes back to them. And also, there's a very usually low cost setup fee. People are usually pleasantly surprised. Maybe they don't even end up using that aspect for the purchase of the home, but they just have kind of peace of mind knowing that if they've got
yeah,
twenty
yeah.
thousand
The
dollars in a
emergency fund, or yeah,
401k,
Yeah.
Generally speaking, they let you access half of that with a 401k loan. Of course, everyone's different. You have to confirm that.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, it gives them peace of mind that, wow, if I ever have an emergency, maybe I become a homeowner and I don't tap into it to purchase it, but
Yeah. I
I
got to pay a
know that that's my
deductible for a
backup
new
fund.
roof or whatever. I've
Yep.
got this
Yep.
funds available. Yeah.